Welcome to AEC Reacts, where we react to subjects relative to architecture, engineering, and construction industry. I am your host, Alicia Washington, Director of Marketing and Jedi at HRP Associates. And here today I have Lindsey Mathieu, owner and principal of Glendening Concepts, a marketing and communications firm. Luke Glendening from Turner Construction, marketing manager at Turner Construction. And today I welcome Christina Arbor, cost estimator with Turner Construction Company. Welcome, Lindsey.
Thank you, Alicia.
Great.
It's great to be here.
Awesome, welcome. So I'm gonna tell you about an article that I actually read this morning.
Okay.
I'm just gonna read you off this one line that I saw. AEC marketing fundamentals can still have a role in winning new business. What's your reaction to that?
I would agree with that statement. I absolutely think there's like a back to basics element of, good marketing at its core. Regardless of the new and latest digital trends or things going on, or hey, this is great for video content or social or this or that, or the latest proposal techniques, I think there are some basics at the core of how we market B2B services, and that's what we are in that AEC space. It comes down to good communication, on-brand messaging, and a great container to present that in. Whether it's your website or printed material, whatever the case is, it's those basics. It's well-branded, well thought out, as we like to say, kitchen table speak messaging that really connects with your client and is focused on your benefits, not just your features. Those are the fundamentals, I think, regardless of the different evolving, trendy platforms and techniques and tactics. Those are the fundamental elements, I think, that we look to kind of keep in place as the world continues to turn and change.
Yeah, I agree with that. On the communication side, on the client experience side, really honing in on what do the clients need, and they always say like responsive and on time, and like all of us say that in all of our marketing materials and things like that, but really doing it and really communicating it.
Absolutely, and really having those stories to back up. We say this about ourselves and this is how we deliver it.
Exactly.
I think there are those, pay to play things that we always say in the industry. We're on time, on schedule, on budget, committed to quality. Like, good, you should be doing those things. So beyond that, let's get to the heart of, what you're good at, how you do it, why that matters to your clients. And I think the fundamentals of focusing on the client and less about you is what's important, and that's timeless. Again, I think the deliverable can change, the way we're going to market with things, the platform, but at the core, those fundamentals of how we talk about what we do and keeping it client focused is still and always will be relevant.
That was awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks for that reaction, Lindsey.
You're welcome.
Welcome, Christina.
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for coming in today.
Of course.
So I wanted to actually talk to you about, I was scrolling LinkedIn this morning and it was pretty funny. I saw something that I thought that you would have a good reaction to because of a lot of the work that you do. So I saw a post that said 35% of students enrolled in STEM are women. How do you react to that?
I think 35% is definitely up from where it was at when I was in school. So it's good to see an improvement. Definitely still a lot more room to grow though. I think if we could get closer to that 50-50 mark and match the US population, in regards to percentages, then we'll be in a much better place. When you look at STEM careers, you're looking at people who are designing things and creating spaces and technology that we're all interacting with, and it would be nice to see some more female creators designing the space that we live and engage with.
Yeah, definitely. And as the population grows and we're seeing more women and more roles too, and more women living in different spaces, working in different spaces, you kind of think about how the space should fit the people who are in it, and if we're kind of growing, that number is growing, that we should also play a role in that. So I absolutely agree.
Yeah. And I look at demographic data often just because it piques my curiosity. And I remember when we started hosting kind of test pilot events for our Latinx employee resource group in New York City, when I looked at the attendance of these Hispanic attendees, it was almost 50-50 every time, male, female. And I've always been curious about that, specifically within the Hispanic community, because then also when I started looking at our business unit in New York City, you know, how many Hispanics do we have in that business unit, how many are male, how many are female? It was close to that also. And when you look at the employees that are advancing in their careers that are Latinx, it's always been very interesting to me that the Hispanic population, in what I've observed, has like maintained that like 50-50 when it comes to career growth.
Yeah, between men and women? Okay, interesting. That is interesting.
And I don't know if that's just construction, but I feel like it was like that in my engineering groups too.
Yeah.
And when I was in the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers in college, our group had a lot of really strong women in it, and it was actually mostly like female.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting too.
Yeah.
And you're the president of the Connecticut chapter for
Yes.
SHEP as well, right?
Yes.
And so how's everything going with that?
Good, mostly female run.
Yeah. yes.
But yeah, that's going well. Right now I would say we're still in our development phase. And we have our first event coming up with the Yukon College SHEP chapter in March.
Nice.
So we need some volunteers to join and volunteer with us to help these students prepare for the professional like workforce.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in today, Christina.
Of course.
Great. Thank you for joining us today, Luke.
Thanks for having me.
Great. Awesome.
Great to be here.
Awesome. So I was reading a blog earlier today about the age in which workers are going into the construction industry. And from 2015 to 2019, there was a 1% almost increase in workers coming in who were younger than 25. How do you react to that?
I totally agree with that. I've seen in my tenure more and more younger people coming into our industry, and it's great to see younger faces all around me. When I started, it was a lot of older staff, maybe because I was a little younger, but it's definitely true. A lot more younger people getting involved. We're learning how to adapt to their different styles and expectations.
Now, even with recruiting efforts with Turner, I'm assuming Turner being so large too, are like other regions or other offices within the country also seeing like the change in younger people coming into the industry there too, in their offices too?
Yeah, definitely. We have about 46 offices all through the U.S. and we all have the same initiative of getting younger, diverse people into our industry from all over different universities and colleges than we've typically sought new employees in the past. So we're definitely seeing it across the whole U.S.
That's great. And Turner's doing such a great job with just a lot of their DEI efforts and recruiting too, and so that's great. So kudos to Turner for that.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. Well, how would you react to that? Drop it in the comments below and stay tuned for the next episode of AEC Reacts. And we'll see you next time.